Addressing an audience including politicians, EU officials, lawyers and journalists, Fabian Picardo described the strength of support on the Rock for the Remain campaign, adding, however, that Gibraltar will respect the outcome of the referendum. Mr. Picardo said the discussion must be led by an understanding of Gibraltar's position, as well as that of the other devolved UK nations and territories, and that the negotiations should allow for new solutions and not be hidebound by old ideas.
Well, there's great interest in Brussels, not just in the Parliament, but outside it, in think tanks and in other organisations, about what Brexit might mean for Gibraltar and what the options are going forward. And it's important to ensure that people don't think that those options are somehow restrained by the current treaty, because if you look at the EEA and the EFTA position, those positions were created for those nations at the time that there was a clear decision not to form part of the European Economic Community, but to want to have some participation or affiliation in the then EEC. So it's important that people keep in their minds that 180 degrees of arc is available, that the United Kingdom is going to negotiate, but I hope not in a cookie-cutter style. In other words, not just one position for the whole United Kingdom. There will be one negotiating team, there will be one negotiation, but I don't think it'll be pursuing one cookie-cutter United Kingdom option.
Speaking to GBC, Mr. Picardo said he agreed with MEP Julie Girling in her call for Gibraltar to be represented on the UK government's Brexit negotiation team, and called for the negotiations to be carried out in a joined-up way.
I think all of the issues that each entity requires to be looked after in the context of the negotiation must be properly looked after. We must be very joined up in the way that we do it. But I don't believe in drafting by committee. I don't think that you can draft a good letter if it takes 10 of you to sit around the table to write it. I think a negotiating team, therefore, must be a tight negotiating team, but it must be in very clear and close contact with all the nations of the United Kingdom, the Crown Dependencies and Gibraltar, so ensure that what it takes forward is the right negotiation for each of us, and I think that's what Julie intends. I think she's right that we should all have as much input as possible, but I think that is likely to be the way that it plays out. A lot of these things will happen around a council table where there is one head of state representing each of the parties. So there'll be 27 people around the table, and then the representatives of each of the institutions, the council, the commission and the parliament.
The Chief Minister said he was very confident that Gibraltar would be well represented in the decision-making process of the UK team, adding the Rock's red lines are clear and understood, both on sovereignty and on its wish to continue to participate in parts of the EU.